Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Jonna. This is Jonna OMG. Today I'll be reviewing Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 8, Episode 12. It is called Blaze and Confused. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and let's go ahead and get right on into this review. So even though it was called Blaze and Confused this episode, I can assure you no one was Blaze in the making of this episode, which was lame. But anyway, we'll talk about it later. So we started this episode off with Gizelle and Ashley. They are going to a fabric store. Remember, they have started a athleisure line. And I don't know why they're going to the fabric store, because I just cannot see them actually designing or making the pieces. So maybe they're picking it out for other people to actually make. But to me, I expect a flop similar to She by Sheree. I'm sorry. As I said last review, I just don't see these two individuals being the fashionistas and starting. I don't care if it's athleisure. Like, you still have to have some type of fashion sense to start any type of clothing line, in my opinion, and those two don't have it. So I expect a flop as She by Sheree. But the name of the line is G&A. Gizelle and Ashley, very original. At least She by Sheree is actually a cute name. So Ashley was filling Gizelle and Robyn in about how Karen felt some type of way about Mia, because Mia felt some type of way that she was second pick to go to Surrey County. But I'm like, why is everybody vying to go to Surrey County so bad? Like, Mia, like, girl, take it on the chin. Like, did you really want to go to Surrey County and get put to work? Because they were out in the field, child. Like, I would have been like, okay, I wasn't invited on that trip. I would have been all right with it, honestly. But Karen being weird about it, like, I feel like, even though I wouldn't have wanted to go, but I'm kind of understanding why Mia felt some type of way. And apparently Karen invited them super last minute. So I hope she didn't have some expectation that they were going to drop everything in their lives and go to Surrey County with her. Like, girl, please. Girl, please. So we learned last episode that Eddie is hosting a weed event. Apparently all of the ladies are invited, including Gizelle, Robyn, and Nneka. Wendy actually invited Nneka as well. So let's see how all that played out. So speaking of Nneka, we actually move on to her. She's at her house and she gets a visit from her cousin-in-law, I believe, Lebe. The infamous Lebe at this point. Remember, Lebe is Wendy's sister's ex-friend, but also Nneka's cousin-in-law. So she has arrived. But I don't know if it was just me, y'all, but Lele looked like she's that girl. Like, they showed some picture before with Wendy and Wendy's sister, and Lebe was kind of in the middle. Like, she was giving star quality to me. Like, I can tell she's not used to filming, though, because she kept looking at the camera, and I was like, girl, supposed to look at the people you're talking to. But anyway, but she just looks like that girl. She just gave me that energy, so kind of made sense in my head. I was like, I could see. Well, let me not say that. So we move on to Candace and Chris. And y'all, Candace is really in her bag. She's kind of been in it for a while now, but the girl got the singing bag. She's in her acting bag as well. So kudos to Candace. She's doing the thing. So they were talking about Eddie's event. Candace won't be able to stay long because she has to go. She's shooting a TV show, I think. Yeah, I think it's a TV show. So she won't be able to stay long, but Chris is actually going to stay. So at this point, I was like really interested in this dynamic because Chris hasn't seen any of the ladies since last season, i.e. Gizelle. That's really the culprit after all this whole fiasco with him anyway. So I was interested and curious to see how they were going to react. We later find out they didn't, but we'll talk a little bit more about it. So we have arrived to the Happy Eddie event, but apparently they're not rolling actual weed, which I thought was weird. Like, it's a weed event. How are y'all not going to be rolling weed? Like, they could at least roll CBD. Instead, they gave them folks some spices and some oregano and stuff. I was like, that's so lame. Like, why y'all? I don't know the laws in Potomac, but like I said, they could at least roll some CBD. Like, goodness gracious. But anyway, like I said, Candace had to leave early, so Chris was by himself. Y'all, I was really nervous for Chris at this point because he just looked so awkward. Like, he just didn't know, like, who to talk to. And I felt bad for him a little bit. I really did. Like, he was kind of by himself because, of course, Eddie was, like, hosting. And I don't know if him and Gordon have much of an interaction anyway, but I don't know. I felt nervous for him. So Karen comes in and she decides to dress what I'm calling a non-issue with Mia, because to me it just wasn't that big of a deal. So Mia told her, like, girl, I don't do no second string invites. Karen was like, well, you weren't second string, you weren't first string, you were the backup. Like, girl, that wasn't gonna make her feel better. Like, you telling the girl she the backup. And I like Karen. Karen is my girl, but I just felt like she could have took it on the chin. Like, she did invite the other ladies because Gizelle didn't want to go with just Wendy and Candace at that point. So all the other people were a second string invite. That's just what it was. Like, that's why I feel like Karen should have just took it on the chin, but she's trying to double down and it made it worse. And I was like, okay, Karen, like, you could have just... You're making a non-issue an issue because you did invite them last minute. So remember, like I said, Wendy invited Gizelle and Robyn, which I thought was big of her, because I don't think they've actually said 2 words to each other this whole season thus far. So anyway, they arrived, they came, and they didn't even speak to Wendy at all. And I felt like it was kind of rude. Now, producers did show a flashback of moments where Wendy didn't speak to either Robyn or Gizelle. And I feel that, I understand that. But to me, it's not like Wendy didn't speak to them at their event. They came to her event and didn't speak to her at all. Like, and I'm not saying they had to hug, but they could have just been like, hey, Wendy, like, I don't know, I thought it was weird. Of course, didn't nobody speak to Chris. Chris didn't speak to the other ladies. They just kind of paid him dust. He did the same as well. So to me, it was just kind of an awkward vibe. Like, I wasn't even there and I felt awkward, but apparently everybody else had an okay time. But the fact that they came in, Gizelle and Robyn, and didn't even like throw a hand up to wave at Wendy was outrageous. To me, don't even come, you know. But anyway. So after the event, Nneka did pull Wendy to the side. She asked Wendy for a one-on-one conversation. Wendy wasn't really receiving it well. Like, she was thanking the girl for coming, but she said she wants to think on it and she wants to make sure that it was coming from a genuine place. Nneka had this idea that the fact that Wendy even invited her to the event at all, that Wendy was trying to extend an olive branch, but I guess that really wasn't the case. So I really don't understand Wendy's rationale for inviting her anyway then, if she wasn't trying to make peace with the girl. But yeah, so I don't know. So we move on to Mia and Gordon. They are out for lunch. So they were just kind of talking about their marital problems. They are in therapy now. Just talking about their marital problems. Mia said, you know, a point where she was wanting to get a divorce because she felt like she was in a hostile environment. Gordon was like, hold up. Like, let's clarify a couple things first. You saying hostile environment, but I want to make it clear, like, I never physically touched you. I never put my hands on you. And Mia was like, yeah, no, of course you didn't. Gordon was like, let's make that clear, because when you say that word hostile, people can make assumptions, which people would and could make those assumptions. So he cleared that up real quick. So Mia brings up Ashley's divorce for some reason, but Gordon was like, he doesn't believe that Ashley is getting the divorce from Michael, because why would she ruin a good thing? Which, that's what I was saying. I'm like, Ashley, like, I don't know what kind of coin you bringing in, but are you sure you want to? Now, I'm not a fan of Michael, but are you sure you want to lose out on this money that Michael is bringing in? Gordon was like, why would she lose her sugar daddy? Like, it's a good gig. Which it is. It's a good gig for her. Like, I'm not a fan of Michael at all, though. Let me just make that clear. But Ashley, are you sure? Like, are you sure? But I wouldn't be surprised either if Ashley never divorces that man. But Gordon said that him and Mia would never even make it to the divorce. He said that they would have a co-parenting relationship and they will work out some agreement that is mutually beneficial for the both of them. So I took that as, Mia, you can have some men on the side if you want to, but we finna still stay married. Gordon, you can have some women on the side if you want to, but we finna still stay married. Because Mia was like, well, yeah, you'll give me some kind of settlement or something if we get divorced. Gordon was like, nuh-uh, chick, I will not. We finna stay married and we finna figure out a nice agreement for both of us. But what would y'all do? Like, this is really interesting. Like, I guess it depends on the perks. Like, if I was Ashley, if I was Mia, like, it depends on the perks. But I'm just such a lover girl, so I feel like I would still want a divorce so I can, like, fully be with my new man. Like, I don't know, but I guess it depends on the benefit, child. You never know. So we move on to Nneka's housewarming event. Well, I really can't say it's housewarming. She called it a unpacking event. But to me, I wouldn't invited all them ladies over to my house and I didn't have no furniture. Like, I mean, she had a couple chairs and stuff, but it was boxes everywhere. I was like, girl, you should at least had a little bit more furniture so you can like give the ladies a tour of your new house before you invited all of them over there. But she did feed them well. She had made sure she had champagne on deck because she just have to at this point with this group. So so somehow Mia and Karen started back up. And I guess at Eddie's event, Karen ended up calling Mia a trick. So Mia brought it back up at Nneka's house saying like it take a trick to know a trick. And that triggered Karen for some reason because she was like, oh, take a trick to know a trick. Well, I heard, Mia, that you were involved with a rapper and a married man, child. But I'm like, girl, that ain't no new news. Like, we knew Mia was messing with Gordon when he was married. So, girl, that's not a shocker at all. But did y'all catch that in the confessional? Mia was like, he's not even a rapper. And I was like, oh, not a rapper. So he's in the music industry then. But apparently, child, she said Gordon was there. So I'm like, Gordon was there, but she said no S.8 was involved. They were just hanging out and Gordon was there. So I was like, okay, here's that mutually beneficial agreement that her and Gordon has, like where she's able to have some side men. They not getting a divorce, so Gordon says. But that was pretty much the end of the episode. Tell me, what would y'all do if y'all were Ashley or Mia? Like, really, if y'all were Ashley, would y'all divorce the man Michael? I probably would still divorce the man Michael because Michael is just absolutely gross to me personally. He's just gross. Gordon, I don't know. I haven't really seen enough of Gordon. I still think he's probably gross though. His first season was he was sticking his tongue out at Karen and stuff. He was a little weird, but what would y'all do? Does it depend on the perk? What is it, y'all? How would y'all make that decision? But make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for tuning in. See you at the next one.